Oh, hello guys. Nate here. So somebody asked me recently if I had stopped making other things other than kitchen knives, and that is most certainly not the case. Just finished a project that I think is a really huge step forward in the sort of things I want to be making, and I'm really excited to get it finished. It's been a huge project, not only in the amount of work that it was, but also in size. Those of you that have been watching my channel for a while, you know that I've been working on this sword for probably the better part of a year now. And my friend who bought the piece of steel put enough faith in me to just buy me a piece of steel, even though I had never made a sword before, and to have me make him a sword. I'm very thankful for that, because it gave me the opportunity to make something that I necessarily maybe wouldn't have necessarily had the chance to work on. Trying to take, time out of my orders and whatnot to just work on a project like this, but making it in order, it lets me do cool stuff like this. So I thought I would show this off to you guys. Of course, we got to get the boring sheath stuff out of the way before I show you the blade. Had to put 3 pieces of Kydex together, a la Gavco's sheaths and stuff. Decided to do 2 rivets connecting each one, and so it's kind of a bear, so I've a lot of respect for anyone that has to do this. So what I did was I put a chunk of aluminum, not a chunk, but a piece of aluminum in the center for the tip to, it doesn't rest on it, it's floating in there, but just to give extra strength to this tip area. Because as you'll see, the sword has a double edge on part of it, so I didn't want there to be any chance of it stabbing through if somebody dropped it or whatnot. So hopefully if it ever falls, it will be strong enough to support that tip. For carry, just 2 simple belt loops. These rotate. They're on those rubber washers, so they rotate slightly, and they're ever so slightly flexible because they're Kydex. But it rides really nicely. You don't need 2 hands to pull it out or resheath it. You can it's got a little bit of a snap at the end right here, just around the kind of slight finger guard that I have, but there's a good amount of friction throughout the sheath, and that's more what holds it in. But there's a nice little snap. Got plenty of attachment points. My buddy Mike said he's going to put stuff all over it, so hope that's going to look awesome. I'll show you the handle right away, I guess. It's stainless bolsters. The blade is made out of D2 tool steel. Stainless bolsters and pins, and it's all 416 stainless, so it's super duper strong. This is my first time trying to do bolsters out of steel like this, and especially my first time trying to do a double bolster. I've done a single one before and kind of got it right, but I had some trouble with this. You can see there's gaps underneath them that are filled with epoxy, and that was from some flaws in my process of attaching them. Have figured that out better for next time, but there was kind of no going back once this was all covered in G-Flex. Really no way to get it apart rather than grinding it all off. In the middle is stuff called Ducarta, which is essentially micarta, but I think they use like a wavy press for it, so you get these really nice waves of color in it, as you can see. And so I just put a nice rounded shape on the outside, kind of like a CC shaping to bring those layers out a bit. And handle's got a couple different positions. I really like it with my hands splitting this larger little point here, but you can also drop it back here for a little more power. And this is definitely not a chopper. This is not going to be something that'll chop wood well, or that you would want to chop wood with. This is a defensive tool, I suppose you could call it. I've been debating putting something on my knives, or saying the ones that are specifically for defense, putting something on them is not a disclaimer, but please don't use this against anyone that doesn't deserve it, because Lord knows that would be terrible. But you can see it's kind of a broadsword styled, or a backsword styled blade. It's 30 inches overall, so the blade itself is just over 2 feet, I believe. And it looks like, yeah, or just under 2 feet. So the blade's just under 2 feet long. The entire sword weighs in at 2 pounds, just about exactly. So it's not overly heavy, but it's definitely not a rapier. It's going to be a decent cutter, and it's got a fuller in there to lighten up the blade a bit. Balance is about 3 inches from the top of the handle. So it's got a nice lively feel in the hand while it still has a good amount of power. The tip has a nice swedge that is sharpened. So it's just got a nasty tip on here. It's very stiff because of the kind of triangular cross section of the blade. The whole thing has a bit of flex to it, just slightly, but it's a very, very stiff blade, so it's going to have really, really good penetrating characteristics from that tip. And it's, you know, the balance isn't too close to the hand, so it should have decent cutting performance. I'm going to try to get a bottle cutting video filmed with this, just because it would be a lot of fun and, you know, whatnot. But see if I can get the whole thing in a shot here. I really like the overall shape of this. Just think it looks really, really nice. Flat ground, finished up to 220 with a Scotch-Brite. And then just, you know, satin finishes all over everything. Left the heat treat scale inside the fuller. But yeah, the tip section is very, very stiff. Should thrust very well, and it feels good in the hand. And clearly, this is not a sword that is designed for sword fighting. The main reason being it has fucking shit all for hand protection. If you get in a sword fight, the most vulnerable target you have is your hands, and that's why you see a lot of later swords. I mean, in medieval times they had big cross guards, but swords like that were often used with shields. Viking swords used with shields. Later swords that you see that were used without a shield or with maybe a buckler tended to have more full hand protection. And while I do intend to make those swords like that at some point, this one not intended to be a sword-on-sword fighter. This is, you know, a modern sword. This is kind of what I picture somebody carrying in modern day. Maybe slightly thinner, but you know, it wouldn't be too bad to carry around, and it's definitely a very nice handling sword. I do a good amount of medieval style combat, and so from that I kind of get a feel for what swings around nicely and what feels nice in the hand. Things I would change: I would definitely, you know, redo the bolsters so that fit up is completely perfect, because that really irks me. But I told the guy I would redo it, but he said he was fine with it. But just turned out really, really, really nice. It was a fun project to work on, and I really cannot wait to do more of these. So I don't know, I've shown off some designs on my Facebook page. You can go over there and check it out. It's facebook.com/ZimKnives, and some designs for newer swords. As always, check out my Instagram, check out my Gear Bastion store. I do have some stuff for sale up on there yet. And thank you very much for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed looking at my work as much as I enjoy making it. Probably not, but you know, there she is. Thanks for watching, guys. Have a good one. Peace.